Welcome to Activations with JJ Ascension Message. In this episode, we will be talking about embodied ascension and the concept of time magic. I'm so excited to have you join me and can't wait to get into the episode. Hello, my dear soul family, my friends. I'm so excited to have you here for this particular Ascension message. There's something that's been on my mind for the last couple of days, and I knew I had to drop in here. It was really an aha moment for me as I was contemplating some things, and actually Spirit dropped in with some really awesome wisdom that I felt drawn to share with all of you. I want to take a quick little side journey here because I had an interesting question from one of my clients the other day, and they wanted some clarification. When I say the word spirit, what am I talking about? What exactly does that mean? And so I thought, well, that's a really good question because I know everybody uses different verbiage. And if you're new to this whole ascension thing and all of the things that I do, it'd be good for you to know what exactly I'm referring to when I talk about spirit. For those of you who have read Dolores Cannon, she often talks about subconscious. In fact, she uses the word subconscious even after she realizes that subconscious is kind of like the person's higher self. And she just says, well, but just to make it easier, I'll call it subconscious. Essentially, for me, spirit is my higher self. And in the end, I really do feel like sometimes the wisdom and the advice I get from my higher self blends with the wisdom and advice I get from my guides. So sometimes I just call it team and spirit. If you know Steve Nobel, he often uses those terms. Team and spirit works for your guides and your higher self. That's always who I set the intention to tap into when I'm connecting for you in a session or when I do a personalized channeled message recording. That's who I feel my little aha moments are coming from, is my higher self. So really, in the end, we could see it as ourselves. It's much more empowering when we do it that way, when we realize it's not coming from outside us, it's coming from inside us. But again, for just my ease of commenting, I use the word spirit, and I hope that clarifies some things for all of you. So moving into this subject of embodied ascension, that's the first subject I want to bring up. When I am in sessions, oftentimes what will happen is I'll do an activation with light language, or I'll bring in guides or higher selves, new teachers. In mentorship, it's incredible because oftentimes I'm bringing in these new guides, these really powerful and incredible goddess energies. And when I do the activations, I always tap into the person's body to see how well the body is integrating. That's actually one of the things that I really feel is my forte, is making sure that when I do activations, the body has fully been able to receive what is being offered. Normally, the soul isn't having an issue. Normally, when we're going through ascension, it's not normally the soul that's like, oh, what is this? What's going on? It's usually the body. And so what I will tell the person is, as I tap into the body after the activation, I'll say, oh, your lower back is resisting just a little bit. Just hold space right now. Just take a few deep breaths. Let's hold some space for that particular part of your body to receive. Okay, so I usually use the word, this part of your body is resisting. It's your right knee or it's your left elbow. And in case you're wanting a sneak peek at how I do that, I really do feel in my own body those places. My body talks to their body. It's kind of crazy. Basically clairsentience. Okay, so I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know why. I was randomly thinking about this. And most of the time I get my downloads right as I'm waking up or right when I'm going to sleep. Those are the two times. I don't meditate per se, like in a seated position in other moments of the day. I usually get all of my downloads when I meditate right before I go to bed and right when I wake up. So as I was considering this idea and this concept of the body, Spirit dropped in and said, listen, we're wanting to invite you to not say the word resist anymore when you're talking about what the body is doing. we want you to know that the body is a very wise and sentient part of you that is knowing exactly what it's doing. It's going slow for a reason. Essentially, it's savoring the activation instead of having you speed through it. So when you feel that it's heavy and you used to think that it was resisting, it's honestly just needing some time to fully digest and savor, just as you would savor a delicious dish of food. Your body enjoys doing that. And when you use the word resist, the body, it makes it seem like it doesn't want this. It does want this. So that's really what Spirit dropped in and said. And then it snowballed from there. And I felt like I was channeling a little bit more information from my higher self, that the body is our most valued guide in ascension. And we often believe that it is the part of us that is not wanting to come along on this ride, when in the end, if we just listen to it, it will guide us every step of the way through this ascension process. Isn't that powerful? I want you to take a moment and consider your relationship with your body. How are you treating your body, or in what way do you interact with your body? What is the exchange between you and your body as you go through this process hand in hand? And really think about, is my body resisting, or is it just wanting to savor all of these amazing energies that are coming through? This experience that we're having on our planet is very unique. Embodied Ascension is very unique. In past times and in other lives and in other places, you do not ascend with your body, let alone do the collective ascension that we're doing. We are doing collective embodied ascension right now on this planet. And that is why there are millions of eyes on us from all around the galaxy and the universe. They have outposts here. We are like a little petri dish to them that is growing this experiment, and they are amazed at what is happening day by day with the collective, how the individuals are participating in this, and how the collective is participating in this, and how Gaia is intertwined with all of this. And when they look at it, they're in awe of what is going on here. That is why we have the wholehearted assistance of the Galactic Federation. This is what I am bringing through in the Galactic Federation seminar series, which we are just about to wrap up on Sunday. And I am so excited to be able to put those out in my little shop that I have, where you can order the recording so you can see what we have been doing, how we've been working with the Galactic Federation to seed unity consciousness and to help the collective and ourselves individually go through this embodied ascension. So as I was coming up with all of this, I felt this really powerful love for the body, for the human body. And in my mind dropped in this idea, and this is usually what happens right before I record an episode. I'll come in and I'll be inspired to create a new offering based on a topic that I do. Many of you know that I've done my Ascension School episodes as a podcast series. And what I have decided to do is kind of turn that into an actual course that you will be able to attend live. A limited number of people will be able to attend live. And then I will put that recording out as a course that you can do. And it will be revolving around the subject of embodied ascension. I still have not come up with the exact wording and title for this particular offering, but I will be offering this in October. So you have about a month to digest all of this and to determine if this is something that resonates with you. So keep your eye out for the links. I may not have the links ready yet. I'm just giving you a little teaser information here, but I wanted to drop in and let you know I feel very passionate about doing that. Since we're on the topic of me shifting a little bit what I'm offering, I also want to drop in and let you know there are some big changes coming in as of September 1st with what I offer. One of those things is I will no longer be doing one-off individual sessions. I will still offer the channeled recordings, and you can order those from the links below, but I will no longer be doing one-off individual sessions. I will be holding my multidimensional soul integration and soul activation, as well as my mentorship. And those are ways that you can connect with me one-on-one through those programs. In addition to my newest offering, and that is my light language mentorship. That happens starting in September. So if you take a look down below, you can find out all the details. I don't need to drop on that here. But light language mentorship is something that was so funny because light language is like my forte. It's really a theme. That's why people find me, is because they've heard my light language on Instagram or TikTok. And I all of a sudden went, I'm really not emphasizing this. I mean, I have my light language circle, and I did my light language circles like a series, a couple of months ago, but I don't have like a mentorship per se. And so I've created this mentorship program for a maximum of 7 people. If you're interested, drop into that below. There's a link. Again, I don't want to take too much time there. All right. In kind of a way of transitioning into our next topic is the idea of the fact that I'm kind of decreasing the amount of time I spend doing one-on-ones. But the really cool thing is that it kind of blossomed out of this occurrence that has been coming up in sessions. For those of you who were in my 8-8 or 7-7 30-minute activation sessions, you may know what I'm talking about. But what was beginning to happen is I would sit with someone and I would do these sessions, one-on-one sessions. And as I would do these sessions, I would get to the end and I would realize like 20 minutes had passed and I felt like it had been 2 hours. And I didn't know that if this was just me experiencing it this way or if other people on the other end were. But I had some of my clients drop in and say, how do you do that? How do you do like this full circle, whole session that feels like we've come into a complete fullness? And I said, I think I know how to pause time. And so I don't know if any of you are experiencing that as well in anything that you're doing. But for me, it manifests as 5 minutes feeling like it's 50 minutes. It'll either happen when I'm in meditation or even when I lay down to like take a nap, right? I've been feeling drawn to take a lot of naps. I don't know if that resonates with a lot of you, but I've been feeling drawn to take a lot of these little naps, like power naps. And they really are. Like I'll lay down and I'll think, I am so exhausted. I could sleep for 3 hours and it wouldn't even make a dent in how exhausted I am. And I'll lay down for 30 minutes and it'll be a really deep, don't get me wrong, it'll be a very deep type of a nap. But when I wake up, I'll feel as if 2 hours have passed and it's only been 30 minutes. There's other things that are happening in my life where this time magic is coming into play. One of them is squeezing into my life all of the things I'm feeling called to do. For those of you who are feeling overwhelmed, I want to remind you of something I dropped in with about, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think I mentioned this subject. Who are you calling in to assist you with all of the things that you're doing? If you're feeling drawn to do all kinds of spiritual development, yet you're still holding down a regular 3D job, you have a family or you have a partner, or you're trying to volunteer or do other things in your life, and you're like, how am I going to do this all? And this is like a common thing. Like this has gone on forever in our society and in our day, where we oftentimes are seeing it as kind of like a negative thing, multitasking, or maybe not multitasking per se, but doing a lot of things at once or having our hands in a lot of things at once. Is it really a bad thing? Because the other day, if you remember, I mentioned in an episode, are we really here to just sit, or can we do both? Can we have the best of both worlds? Can we be in our divine feminine and sit and be still, but also be in our divine masculine and get a lot of things done? And what I came down to was that it's all the same. It's all the same. Being is doing and doing is being. And so as we look at our lives, as we feel pulled into different projects and we get that overwhelm, that nervous system is like, what's going on? We can just say to our nervous system, I am a master of time. Time does not control me. There's plenty of me to extend throughout all of the things that I'm doing. And I can literally manipulate time in order to make all of this happen in the way that I want it to happen. So that is time magic. And I want you to play with it this week. I want to challenge you to play with it this week. It's an incredible thing to be able to know that one, time isn't real. That comes through all the time in my sessions. I was just reading something that was saying we're going to stop scheduling things. I actually remember reading once upon a time a book that somebody had channeled about the new earth, and they were seeing it. They were seeing it in vision, and they were like, it's so weird. There's no time, and people don't have schedules, and it's like we don't have a meeting at 10 a.m. It's like all of a sudden we're telepathically communicating with so-and-so, and they're like, hey, it's time for us to meet up. And you're like, oh yeah, it is right now. And then you just dive right into your interaction with that person, as I would see it, like a session with that person, but we don't have it on a calendar. Oh my goodness, that kind of blows my mind. I don't know if it blows your mind, but it blows my mind. Maybe that's something I'm going to talk about in my Embodied Ascension school, is more about this time magic thing. So again, I'm really, really excited for all of the things that are happening right now, all of the ways that we're going to blossom. We are heading into a time out of August, right? August has been a pause for many of us, but we are heading into a time out of August where we are going to hit the ground running. And I am not kidding you. You have been very justified in wanting to take a pause over the last few weeks. But my friends, get ready to hit that gas pedal and not stop. It's going to be amazing. You're going to have the energy. Don't be afraid. You're going to have the energy. You're going to have the time, because time is not real. You're going to meet the people and do the things. I know you feel it because I'm tapping into your energy. It's going to happen. And I am so excited for all of us. I cannot wait to connect with you this coming month of September in a gathering, in my light language mentorship. And don't forget, I actually have my very first in-person gathering coming up on September 17th in Los Angeles, California. The link to find out more about that event is below. I would absolutely love to meet you in person. Such a beautiful opportunity. All right, my friends. As always, I am sending you so much love. Please connect with me through Instagram or TikTok. I'm on there daily. Would love to co-create with you there. The last thing I want to leave you with is my favorite phrase of all time, and that is, I am you, and you are me, and we are we.